Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Elspeth, the painting healer, and today I'm going to be working on a portrait of a very beautiful person. Someone who comes in as sort of a companion to one of the other portraits that I've done recently. She represents grace, dignity, beauty, talent, creativity, curiosity. I'm talking about Isabella Rossellini. All right, I'll meet you on the page and let's dive in. All right, let's open the call with Isabella Rossellini. So first things first, I can hear very fast talking in my mind in Italian. I can hear her talking to her mother, Ingrid Bergman, but I don't understand what she's talking about. Okay, let's start here. Wow, such a strong, beautiful presence. I think I first became aware of Isabella Rossellini in films like Death Becomes Her, and then when I was older I saw her in Blue Velvet. Quite stunning. She has an ethereal quality about her. That she knows something. She knows something that we don't know. She has an old soul for sure. I want to say jubilance. Jubilance, that's funny. Jubilance. She's not just joyful. I also actually remember her recently in the claymation movie, Marcel the Shell with One Shoe. I think that's what it was called. She played the grandmother. So I'll start by talking about things that I know about her. I know that she was in a relationship with David Lynch. I think it was quite a passionate relationship, and I can tell that she still holds him in her heart. When he passed away this year, she wore blue velvet to one of the award ceremonies in his honor, and that was a beautiful gesture. She has a farm in Long Island, New York. I think it's Long Island, and I know she has many different animals, and she cares deeply about the environment and animals, and is just a beautiful soul. All right, I'm gonna start tuning into her energy and start trying to focus. So you might just hear brush strokes for a moment. I want to make sure that I am tuning into the part of my brain that is connecting to her energy, and not the part of my brain that just has thoughts about it. Okay. I can see her mother in her smile right here. Okay, so I'm picking up on the Second World War. I'm hearing good luck. Very fortunate. I am picking up that they came in as a cluster of souls, her and her mother and her father. With strong purpose, as uplifters and reflectors. Her mother had a very strong character. And in some ways I feel that Isabella is softer. She's very strong, but her edges are much smoother. All right, so I'm happy to report that it's actually not so easy to just tune into her energy. She has very good boundaries on her energy. Of course, I wouldn't have even been compelled to paint her if I didn't feel like it was okay first. And I'm only choosing people that share their energy with the intent for it to be used to uplift. But this is what I encountered when I drew Kate Blanchett many years ago. She's good at protecting her energy. Okay, I just got strawberries, wild strawberries. I think that might have actually been referring to the film Wild Strawberries. Ingmar Bergman. Was that Ingrid's dad? I feel like I want to Google that, but I can't because I'm using the phone to record it. Anyway, Wild Strawberries, very important piece of in the family story here. Okay, just 1 second. Okay, let's continue. As you can see, I'm working my way towards Isabella's eyes. Okay, I was talking about wild strawberries. Now, I know that Ingmar Bergman is not related to Ingrid Bergman, but I am seeing this film pop up as something that was really quite precious. Maybe it's just the fact that it really inspired Ingrid, and I think the movie came out in 1957, so that's, I don't know, roughly 25-30 years before Ingrid died. But there's just a point of pride and there's something about the time that Wild Strawberries came out. There was an important time in Ingrid's life as well. All right, but let's get back to Isabella, whose dad was the Italian film director Rossellini. I'm interested in the inner world of Isabella here. I'm seeing her get very excited over some fresh produce that she got at the market, like biting into a delicious tomato from the garden. She has very heightened senses. I feel that it's almost like she can hear insects. She's very tuned in. She's very tuned into the earth. She's very grounded, very warm, loving. And to be loved by Isabella is really to feel so cherished. I feel that there were strong standards for her, and that it felt quite rigid, and that she was made aware of quite strict sort of beauty standards growing up, but that she had this natural ability to surpass, to sort of skip the line. And that she quickly kind of learnt to remind herself that while these things may apply to everyone else, they don't apply to her. And so if anyone was ever trying to sort of give her some helpful advice, she'd be thinking, well, that might be the case for you, but for whatever reason, that's not the case for me. She knows that people could see her inner beauty, that her inner beauty was vibrant on the outside and was informing the way people read her. The way that she makes people feel. She just radiates. She radiates beauty, like just like being in a garden of gorgeous heirloom roses. You can't help but just be swept away by the aura of this beauty. She really encapsulated that even more than her mum, and her mum was very celebrated for her beauty, but Isabella has a lot of heart, a lot of warmth, and she's quite spiritual as well. She is spiritual. She's very grounded, and she has right now the aura of a grandmother of many, many grandchildren, but I don't think that she has many, many, many grandchildren. But she has many lives behind her where she's been maternal. I also see her like having been like a wise man, like an important, distinguished. She's practiced in, she's been in prominent positions in lifetimes before. Very distinguished. That's the word that's coming to mind with her. So in this life, it's like she's sort of masquerading as an actor to get like a different worldview, a different perspective on concepts and philosophies and findings that she found in other lives, but she's been a master of the law, medicine, travel. She's been in very powerful positions before. I am seeing very balanced with her masculine and feminine sides. Very comfortable in her femininity. She has an incredible welcoming. Thing is, she's very loving and very generous, but she also, you can feel the high vibration, and I think that that's sort of a repellent to scoundrels. I feel like people that aren't worthy of her presence just sort of innately know it. I can feel that she's not it's taking me a little bit to work up to her, to get her likeness here, but I'm just working on it bit by bit. Very clear eyes. Okay. There is a sadness, but also an understanding with her father. His love and affection is missed. I do feel that she was close with her mother, but there's something a little bit icy in that relationship, dare I say. And I think it has to do with Ingrid herself. I think that Isabella took some notes from her mother's experience and was determined not to let the worldly judgments get to her. I feel that Ingrid had to be more cautious and play it safe, and there was like hardly any room for error. Just feels very tight and buttoned up in Ingrid's energy. And I feel that Isabella was able to relax more into it. She already had the pre-paved entry into the pathway that she felt more confident and relaxed going in, and she thought she felt invited to let her personality shine through more than her mother felt she was allowed to. She's very how do I describe this? Okay, this is a word that's in Italian, so I'm going to try and find some English words that match it. Okay, it's okay, it would start with E. It's like a gorgeous, loving, warm, relaxed, enjoyment, luxurious, sensual. Okay, that's probably a closer fit. She has a very strong sensual way about her that just kind of wraps the world in her care and love. It's very palpable. And it really comes with a great, like a deep wisdom. It's sort of like, have you ever been to, I'm going to find it a terrible analogy, but have you ever been to like a grocery store and the lady at the checkout calls you honey? And in that moment, it means so much because it just feels like affection that you're, you know, say you're missing someone, you're missing your family or someone random, a stranger calls you honey and you feel so loved. That's the magic that Isabella has. It's like her gaze looking at you makes you feel like she's calling you honey. Like she's sweeping you into her arms and yeah. All right, let's see what happens when I start painting her hair. Calling for some rich violets here. All right, so when I start painting her hair, I feel a strong call. This is still relevant, but started in her 30s. Around 29 is when she got the call, and then in her 30s to be more of an ambassador for, I'm hearing the UN, I don't know if that's what it was, but human rights, animal rights, to really get involved in charitable organizations and to feel really of use, that she could really, once she started to feel that she was climbing in her presence and her accolades, not just as a model but as an actor, that she really had a strong desire to help and to be of benefit and significantly make a positive impact. That feels very close to her heart and very important in her mission, to be a beautiful ambassador of very important things, and to really raise the awareness of the beauty industry and the consumers. I think that part of her audience that's very important to her is the consumers of beauty products. She's speaking to those ladies. And I think that this goes back to her mum. Actually, it feels better to call her her mother rather than her mum. She saw some of the damage, some of the effects she wishes that her mother could have felt more liberated, more than she was a very strong character, but she wishes for her mother that she could have felt more free to relax, to really relax more. The word astringent just popped into my mind. Isabella has a beautiful connection with her son, and he really fills her heart with so much tenderness. She has a very tender heart, a very strong and tender heart. She would like to travel more. She would like, there are so many places she still would love to witness with her own eyes. She would love to go to Africa. And I'm seeing countries that to me feel orange, so that would be Egypt, Africa, Saudi Arabia. I'm also seeing Turkey, Portugal. She feels she's been to Portugal. But I'm seeing countries that feel orange and red. So let's see, maybe Hungary. Oh, and she'd really love to see more of Asia as well. I'm hearing Jane Goodall. I'm sure that they are friends. But she really, there's a kindred connection there. A great source of inspiration. But that she relishes actually making contact and being friends with the people that she admires. All right, now I'm picking up on David Lynch. So when I read David, this came up as a very important and quite a passionate romantic connection. From her perspective, it feels a little bit different. It feels very profound, but also that he had work to do, and at the time they weren't always seeing eye to eye. And the ways that she took pleasure, like she loves walking, she loves feeling in her body and cooking. And I haven't checked her star sign actually, but there are some real Taurian elements that I'm picking up with her. And there was some just lifestyle divisions I'm seeing. I mean, he was a heavy smoker. She's more into health. There was just some ways of spending time together that they had an enormous attraction and appreciation for each other's intellect. But there was some, I don't know, just she had to sort of navigate that relationship in a way that when she thinks about it, it feels like a little bit of a shame that they were both required certain things to channel their art. And his version of solitude looked very different to hers. Her way of tuning in might have been cooking and walking and listening to music and having it play loudly through the house, like I'm hearing classical music, and his solitude may have been chain smoking in a room with his art supplies. And while they had a deep love and appreciation for each other, I think that his marriage to his work sort of was at odds with her. I mean, she is a prima diva in her own right. She's not in an ego sense, but she's just such an opulent, huge presence that you know, she's not going to be in a relationship where she, you know, the romance isn't sort of front and center. It just, you know, it feels like they have such a strong connection that they were maybe catching up from, they've been together in previous lives. And I actually feel that their connection is stronger than just being in a relationship. It's almost like they lived in each other's hearts and they loved each other fiercely in each other's hearts, but that pragmatically it wasn't, you know, they both had so much work to do to be accomplished, and it wasn't sort of the experience they needed to have, just like devoting their lives to each other and settling down in a house. That just, there was so much to be done, and they egged each other on, they encouraged each other, they boosted each other's work to a much higher level because of their shared passion. Like together they were like, you know, kindling and a flame, but that they had sort of a focused time together, and then when it was complete, it was understood. That's not to say that they didn't both miss each other tremendously and miss the connection that they had. I mean, that the chemistry that they had was really something very special. Let us switch to, let's get some different paints in here. I just ordered some more paints. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 palettes out right now. And I switch between them just sort of intuitively, like, oh, I need a bit more of this one. They all have sort of different textures and ways of sitting on the paper. Okay, now I'm feeling more fruit. I'm feeling more food from Isabella, and she is just really so thrilled and delighted by the treasures in her garden. It's not a garden, it's more of a sort of a farm, really. I'm also seeing Michelle Obama's vegetable garden. I'm seeing some sort of connection there. Don't know if it was inspiration or if she was able to visit it, but she really admired that wonderful that garden at the White House that Michelle created. There's just something so, it gives her so much life force, is helping others to grow and seeing the immediate satisfaction of crops and plants and animals, and when she's able to flow her love and help to nurture, that's what keeps her vitality. When that character that she played in Death Becomes Her, where she had like the secret potion for eternal youth, she feels that she really does have the secret potion for eternal youth, and it's flowing your love to help others more vulnerable grow, and helping others to reach their potential and have all the nourishment and support to help them grow into the most beautiful versions of themselves. And she demonstrates that back to herself on a small scale with her garden and her animals. And it really does, that is the secret to her beauty. For some humbling reason, I'm finding Isabella harder to paint than other portraits. It's hard to capture her majestic beauty on the page compared to some people. I wonder if isn't this is interesting? It's like she has a trademark on her beauty, but I'm gonna keep working at it, so I'm not worried. I think maybe the trick will be just to let the layers of paint dry. She has the most beautiful lips, and she's not wearing too much makeup in this picture that I'm referencing. It's that natural joy of life coming through. How do you capture that? Well, I'm going to wait it out as long as it takes. I'm going to capture it. Okay, I'm seeing currants now. Black currants. She is just, I can taste black currants. I can smell the leaves of her garden. I can smell the scent of the damp earth after a good water early in the morning. I think this is part of her spiritual practice, definitely, is to commune with her plants and her animals, and she talks to them. She loves talking to them. She giggles a lot, even just like she may be on her own, but she doesn't ever feel alone. She's having such wild conversations with her hens and her goats. This is where the action is. This is where the meaning of life is, and the joy of these beings, the guardians of enlightenment and joy, are often the ones that are not talking. She has ambitions of living a long, healthy, wonderful life. She is so grateful for her life experience, and she feels that she was able to enjoy her life. And it took a lot of intention as well. And she saw so many women in her line of work suffering, just tragic. And the way that she says it, she's got a seriousness, but also like a knowing sort of chuckle, because she knows that there's a great facade to it all, and the suffering is ego. And that it's just so ironic that beauty could be such a cause for such suffering and shame and sorrow, when it's really supposed to be the celebration. And that's why she's here. She's here to help remind us what true beauty and celebration and savoring life's pleasure really looks like. Welcome back. I had a pause in true Mercury retrograde. My camera cut out. I think the storage was full. I don't think that, I don't know where it cut out, but I don't think we missed anything terribly important. But I will say that from time to time, I do a portrait that is quite humbling, and it can be more of a challenge to capture the likeness or the essence than other drawings, than other paintings. And I think this one is one of those where it's just gonna require extra attention to really capture. It's a feeling. Like when I know that it's done, it's more like a feeling. Like when you're cooking and you're like, that's it, don't add anything else. And I think that this painting is a slow simmer where I'm cooking very lightly and I'm just using basic, delicious ingredients. And I think that one of the main ingredients to make this painting really sing will be just a little bit of extra time to let the paint dry in between layers, so I can I think that it speaks to her essence, is that there's a delicate beauty, but it's a result of focused attention. There's nothing accidental here. She has a really divine spirit, and there's wisdom and there's experience there that goes beyond just this lifetime or beyond her inherited family experience or beauty. There's something so original and unique and beautiful and opulent about Isabella that is just the result of her incredible observation of life and her ability to process her experience into such deep gratitude, and that the result of her processing her experience is beauty and delight and wonder. Oh goodness, I would like to say, well, let's leave that here, but I would like to make it look more gorgeous before I say goodbye to this stage. I'm going to refine the details and show you the finished product on my Instagram, but yeah, I just don't feel right leaving it here where it's leaving you to guess. I don't know, just going to soften it up a little bit, just a little bit. She was absolutely stunning when she was younger, but she just gets more, I don't know, more gravity to her beauty as she ages. Where it's like, oh, we all knew that she was beautiful before, but now you can really see her inner beauty is shining through. That sounds like I'm saying that she's beautiful even though she's old and unattractive. That's not what I mean at all. She is so beautiful as an older person. And there's a different beauty. And it's still so enchanting and so gorgeous. I don't know, that's all I want to say is just all the different ways to describe her beauty. That's just about the depth of this reading. Her beauty comes from her wisdom. Her wisdom comes from her experience. Her experience is much more than she's had in this lifetime. Her experience is lived through other people, and I guess she's sort of a scientist in a way. Her curiosity, but she's just simply like a beautiful crystal that shines light through her and creates even more sparkling colors as it goes through her because of the quality of her vibration, the quality of her character. I wish she had a stronger presence in this world. I wish she was in charge. But just like the beautiful plants in her garden, she exists in the world as part of the ecosystem, and though she isn't front and center as an ambassador all the time, she's still part of our environment. She represents the humans that are part of this climate right now, amidst all the decay and destruction and disillusionment and disaster and all the devastating words that start with D. She is also here, shining her beauty and extending her joy and practicing her resonance and her resilience. And just like a tree that purifies the air, she is one of many pure hearts that are helping to keep a balance in the soul of this world. All right. Now I feel like I'm in an okay place to pause and let this dry. I just want to add a little speck of glistening red or orange to her eyes. Here we go. Add just a little sparkle of warmth to her eyes. Boop. There we go. There we go. I can't resist just a little bit more detail. I want you to see what I see. I think that's sort of the purpose of these videos, is I want you to see what I see. When I paint someone, I really get to see with X-ray vision their soul. And some people have their soul on high beam, and some people have, sort of have to dig a little deeper. Some people have like a weak light, and some people just have a very strong one. And so in these examples of famous people, I want to sort of illuminate what makes them so special. I want to understand beauty and what keeps it alive and what makes it so important for us. It's not just a physical thing. I think it all boils down to people that are demonstrating their love and people that are demonstrating their capacity to give and receive love. I can tell that, that's something that makes someone beautiful as well, is their capacity to receive love. Because in receiving love, you know that you are also welcomed into their life, that the world is welcome. They're unafraid. There's something very strong about someone who is available to receive love. It takes a lot of self-love, understanding of the universe. Because if you can understand that you're worthy of love, then you understand on a small scale how the universe works. All right, getting a little closer. In the spirit of Isabella Rossellini, I'm going to eat something delicious for lunch. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it. And I'm probably going to say, oh my goodness, this is so delicious. You have to try this. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk to the food. I'm going to really relish it. Unfortunately, I feel like I need to go out and get a delicious tomato, because I'm thinking about the ones that I have and they energetically feel anemic. I'm going to jump on my bike right after this painting and ride around the outside of Belle Isle, and then I'm going to jump in the water and have a swim. And I'm going to take Isabella with me on that ride, and in her spirit, I'm going to appreciate the day so much. That's how I'm going to honor her today. And then I'm going to come back and fix her up and make sure this painting looks good. She is someone that I would love to hang on the wall, because I think remembering her face reminds me of the eternal joy of life. She lives it, she personifies it. She brought beauty to some dark artistic films and also graced the cover of, you know, many not so deserving magazines. But her presence in the world is something I'm so grateful for, to be living on the same timeline as her. So thank you, Isabella. We send you so much love and good health, and I hope to see you live to 125. But whenever she feels it, she's complete, will be the perfect time, because she's really lived her life so well, and the world is better for it. All right, I'm going to pause there, and I look forward to sharing with you a more impressive version. I'm going to really put in the time and the work and the detail to make her portrait beautiful. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you so much. Sending you lots of love and good health today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.